So we're going to look at some installation tips in part 12. Uh, you know how to design the network, and we've gone over installation quite a bit in the other videos. So I'm not gonna explain how to run data cable. I'm not gonna explain how to uh, rack mount switch or wall mount an equipment, or wall mount an AP, I should say, or configure a controller or configure a switch. We can be here forever talking about all the different ways to configure something that's beyond the scope of these videos. So if it's a new building under construction and you're responsible for installing the structured cable in the building, you're probably going to install the data cable after the framing is complete and before the ceiling tiles and drywall are installed. You can leave the bundles of data cable up in the ceiling. Be careful that the bundles aren't pulling on the rest of the cable because they can be heavy and that can damage the cable. Once you've got power, internet, flooring in the IDF or MDF, you can install network racks, rack mount, and configure your switches, that kind of thing. You can also terminate the data cables to the patch panel, and you can certify your data cables, which is a very, very good idea. Highly recommend you buy or rent a cable certifier. And of course, once you've installed your dropped ceiling, then you can start pulling the wire, terminating the wire in the ceiling, mounting the access points. Most access points have brackets for drywall and T-bar. I should say that after you've terminated the cable, maybe in this phase, you can do the certification. APs that are going outside can be installed once you've got a completed roof or building envelope, once you've got the final structure that you're bolting your poles and masts to. Highly recommend you configure your access points before you install them. You don't want to be coming back later and installing your access points in the you don't want to come back later and have to rent a scissor lift and climb up on the scissor lift with your laptop to reconfigure an access point. For the most part, the access points are configured with a controller unless you have a small network, but maybe it's better to plug access points into the switch directly and make sure all your access points are online on the ground before you start hooking them up in the ceilings and outdoors. A very good idea. Depending on how big the building is and the time frame, you might do the termination of the cable, AP install, certification all at the same time. That'll save you on labor, scissor lift rentals, ladders, that kind of thing. Every project is different, so be sure to communicate with the GC, subcontractors, and the client at all times.